Wacky and Wild Week 2 is now in the books.
And the New York Giants put together one of their biggest comebacks in 99 years.
Two weeks of regular season chaos down, 16 to go. So, here's how all 32 teams stack up against one another in our Week 3 edition of the 2023 NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 32. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Cardinals fans may as well buy their Caleb Williams jerseys while they're hot. Arizona blew a 21-point lead at home to a New York Giants team that, lost 40-0 on its home turf to the Dallas Cowboys 7 days earlier. And those very Cowboys are next on Arizona's schedule. Number 31, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 30. The Texans fell 31-20 at home to the division rival Indianapolis Colts, but there were a couple of bright spots. CJ Stroud had 384 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and wide receiver Nico Collins went off for 146 yards and a touchdown on 7 receptions. These guys are playing hard for DeMeco Ryans. Credit where it's due. The results just aren't showing it. Number 30, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 29. It's not too early to start wondering if the Bears need to look at other QB options in the draft. Justin Fields had another frustrating outing on Sunday, a mistake-filled Week 2 road loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, those changes on defense sure aren't amounting to anything. Number 29, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 28. The Panthers showed some fight on Monday night against the Saints, but the fact of the matter is they're just not a very good football team. And now they're 0-2 without a first-round pick next year. It is gonna be a long season in Charlotte. Number 28, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 27. The defense, this team's backbone of the last 4 years, suddenly stinks. The Broncos blew an 18-point lead to Washington, all while making Sam Howell look like a combination of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Yes, the Broncos got screwed when the refs missed a blatant PI call on the 2-point try following their improbable Hail Mary touchdown, but when you're up 18 points, you just simply can't lose. Number 27, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 22. Another case of coulda, woulda, shoulda for Bill Belichick's Patriots. This team is just finding painful new ways to lose close games that were in their grasp. New England is 0-2 for the first time since 2001. If they can't beat the Aaron Rodgers-less Jets in Week 3, the calls for the Patriots to do the unthinkable and fire Bill Belichick will suddenly grow louder.
That's hysterical.
Number 26, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 21. Hey, go figure. Last year's Vikings went 11-1 in one-score games during the regular season, and they're already 0-2 with both losses coming by a single possession. Life is cruel in the NFL, and even the all-world play of Justin Jefferson hasn't been enough for many to escape this early 0-2 hole. Number 25, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 12. Is anyone really surprised? The Chargers have mastered the art of losing gut-wrenching contests that were right in their grasps. Sure enough, they've endured 2 of them in as many weeks. Justin Herbert's MVP-level play isn't enough to make up for Brandon Staley's awful in-game management and the vulnerable defense. Number 24, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 10. Well, what do you know? Another ugly start to the season for the Bengals. Through 2 games, Jamar Chase has 10 catches for just 70 yards. Joe Burrow has 304 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And Lou Anarumo's defense has allowed 51 points. Yikes. Number 23, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 31. Anthony Richardson was off to a dazzling start in Houston before suffering a concussion that forced him out of the game. Hey, here's to hoping Richardson doesn't miss much, if any time at all. He has given Colts fans plenty of reason for long-term optimism already. Number 22, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 26. It shouldn't have taken a miracle comeback for the G-men to upset the tanking Cardinals, but hey, all victories, pretty or not, show up the same in the win column. Big Blue avoided a disastrous 0-2 start and saved their own season in the process. Number 21, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 24. The Raiders were no match for a superior Buffalo Bills squad that crushed them in every department on Sunday. Hey, don't say we didn't warn you. This defense just isn't suited to stop well-oiled machines like that of the Bills. Number 20, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 15. Zach Wilson had no chance against the ferocious Dallas Cowboys defense. Surprising? No. Concerning? Absolutely. The Jets need to quit with their Wilson bias and bring in a QB who can actually help them win now. Number 19, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 14. Jordan Love had another fine performance without top wideout Christian Watson, but the Packers defense carelessly napped throughout the fourth quarter in Atlanta. And that cost the Cheeseheads a perfect 2-0 start. Well, let's see how they rebound with the Saints coming to town in the Packers' home opener. Number 18, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 23. A gutsy win for the Titans in their home opener to avoid a disastrous 0-2 start. Ryan Tannehill, DeAndre Hopkins, and Derrick Henry didn't exactly light up the score box, but the Titans still managed to claw out a 27-24 victory over a quality Chargers team. If Henry and Hopkins can get going, the Titans could be a sleeper in the AFC. Number 17, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 9. Yeesh, pretty rough loss for the Browns. Their defense certainly came to play against the Steelers, but that Deshaun Watson offense continues to be an absolute mess. Alright, so at what point do we stop assuming Watson just needs time to learn Kevin Stefanski's offense and actually start realizing that the Browns legit made one of the worst decisions in NFL history by trading for the former Texans QB? Number 16, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 11. Death, taxes, and the Rams losing to Kyle Shanahan's 49ers in the regular season. More that stays the same. But the real story here is rookie Puka Nacua, who shredded the San Fran secondary for 15 receptions and 147 yards in the 30-23 loss. Sure, definitely frustrating for Sean McVay's group, alright. But once Kupp returns, the sky's gonna be the limit for this offense. Number 15, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 20. Now, that's the Steelers defense we're used to seeing. TJ Watt and company showed up on Monday night, scoring 2 defensive touchdowns and recording 6 sacks on Deshaun Watson during a big division win. The offense is still a work in progress, but if Kenny Pickett can keep finding ways to get the ball into the hands of George Pickens, then this team just might be alright after all. Number 14, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 25. By the hairs on their chinny chin chins, the Commanders escaped Mile High City with a thrilling 35-33 win. Sam Howell had a near-flawless outing, completing 27 pass attempts for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 picks in Washington's dazzling comeback win over the Broncos. But it's time to get serious, now with the Bills and Eagles next on the schedule. Number 13, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 8. Disappointing loss for a Lions team that was riding such a high with a Week 1 victory in Kansas City. The secondary looked as helpless as last year's group, and Dan Campbell's overly aggressive fourth down play calling finally caught up to him. Look, we love Campbell's risk-taking, but he's got to know when to hold him, when to fold him, and when to run. Number 12, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 17. While Seattle's D slept through much of that contest, Geno Smith and the explosive Seattle offense put on their Superman capes and willed the team to a crucial overtime win in Motor City. Beautiful and all, but will that D wake up already for the love of God? Number 11, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 6. The Jaguars will be kicking themselves for failing to put KC in a 0-2 hole to start the year, no doubt. But you know, we don't want to read too much into an early season loss to the defending champs with the game's best QB. Number 10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 19. Break up Baker's Bucks. For the 3rd straight year, Tampa Bay is 2-0 to begin the season. But man, is Baker Mayfield's strong play a fun early season storyline. Now if they can just upset the Eagles next week. Number 9, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 16. The Saints improved to 2-0 by beating the Panthers on Monday night, and while their competition hasn't been great, hey, wins are wins in the NFL. Derek Carr has had his moments thus far as the Saints, but he still needs to kind of clean things up if New Orleans wants to seriously compete in the NFC. Number 8, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 18. For the first time since 2017, the Falcons are undefeated heading into Week 3. 4 different Falcons had 40-plus yards receiving. The rushing game gashed Green Bay's D for 211 yards and a TD on 45 carries. And just as importantly, the defense made big-time stops when it mattered most. Number 7, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 13. A much-needed bounce-back win for the Bills after a very sloppy loss to the Jets last Monday night. Josh Allen got back to his MVP-like form, and the D made life miserable for Jimmy Garoppolo and company all night long. Number 6, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 4. It wasn't all that pretty, but the Chiefs won't complain about a road win in Jacksonville while also avoiding a brutal 0-2 start. That is for sure. While the offense continues to work on regaining its form, it's sure encouraging to see that the defense is playing as good as ever. Just 30 points allowed against 2 high-powered offenses in 2 weeks? Andy Reid will take that any day. Number 5, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 7. More confirmation on Sunday night. This Dolphins offense is in its own stratosphere as long as Tua Tagovailoa is captaining the ship. For those who aren't counting, Tua is now 23-13-0 as a starter with 56 touchdowns and 25 INTs. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 5. This just in, the Ravens are Super Bowl contenders when Lamar Jackson is healthy and operating the offense. Case in point, a 2-0 start thanks to a balanced offense that dropped 27 points on Cincinnati and a 3-point win. Number 3, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 3. Through 2 games, Dallas has outscored its opponents 70-10. That is absolutely hysterical. While we keep raving about the D, one can't forget that Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard are doing just fine on the offensive side of the ball as well. Thank you very much. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 2. It wasn't particularly pretty, but the Eagles outlasted the Vikings in a high-scoring affair on Thursday night. DeAndre Swift was the star of the show with 175 rushing yards and a touchdown in the 34-28 Philly win. We haven't seen a complete team effort yet, but the Eagles are 2-0 anyway. Number 1, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 1. 1 week after humiliating the Steelers on the road, the 49ers traveled back to California and outlasted the rival Rams 30-23. Brock Purdy played mistake-free football, Christian McCaffrey had 116 rushing yards, and the D forced 2 turnovers. A complete team effort all around. But what changes would you make to our Week 3 power rankings? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.